Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. From the Jamborees to the Superdome, your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Wazan.
Good evening and welcome to the Week 7 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, Jimmy Roy. Producing the program today, we got Casey Gaines, we got Paul O'Neill, and reading your scores is Skip Cottrell. You can follow tonight's scores on Twitter.
On TikTok.
Yeah. What? Twitter, at Louisiana Prep. That's at Louisiana Prep on Twitter. Also, for a full scoreboard throughout the night, if you're watching on YouTube, the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, or over on your view, the bottom of the screen, you'll have a full scoreboard with every final throughout the state for Week 7, and we'll highlight a couple of games from each region throughout the night on the radio. Guys, as we start up tonight's show, looking back first to some earlier games, and I know we'll get to them in just a bit. What stood out so far? I mean, some revenge for Union Parish with the win over Sterlington. We're seeing some nice performances tonight as well.
We'll have Coach Spatafora on at 10:15 to talk about that game. Just got a final out of Laplace St. Martinville over St. Charles, 35-25, which, Jimmy said it a lot about St. Martinville being the best 1-4 team. Now they're 3-4. St. Charles isn't bad either, but they're hurting a little bit from injuries.
St. Martinville's schedule has been just honestly absolutely brutal to start with, and they've played up in competition. I wondered about it coming into tonight. Their losses were to Cecilia, Notre Dame, Westgate, Lafayette. The combined records of 19-6. And you wondered about playing St. Charles. They had an opportunity to go to 2-5 tonight, but they get a big win over a good 4-2. So that's going to be a good PowerPoint boost for St. Martinville. Their running back Stephen Blanco is as good as it gets. I mean, he's one of the best ones in the state, and it's been a brutal year for them schedule wise. And I was talking with coaches last night at the Dunham Episcopal game, and some of them thought St. Martinville is a dark horse to win state championship in that classification in Division II non-select. So we'll see, but good win for those guys tonight. We got a barn burner going over there at U-High right now, 37-37. U-High and Madison Prep has been going back and forth. I do not have an update yet, but we will get it to you as soon as we know.
That's very interesting. U-High giving up 37 points tonight. Madison Prep has been a very talented football team, but U-High and Coach Andy Martin has had a strong defense. And you mentioned Dunham last night. I know we'll spend more time at some of these games throughout the evening, but I don't know if the result is surprising, but the outcome of how that went about and the complete shutout. And, Dunham handled their business against a very good Episcopal team last night.
I went to the first half of that game, and I'm going to be honest with you. That game surprised me. Not who won. I thought it was a toss-up type of game.
Yeah.
You got a 5-1 Dunham team playing a 6-0 Episcopal team. Two really well-coached teams. It's a big rivalry game. But this one was 35-0 Dunham at the half. Dunham's defense forced 3 first-half turnovers. They had 2 interceptions, a fumble. Jackson House had a big night, 161 yards. And 2 touchdowns passing, 141 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Episcopal never could get anything going in the first half, or really the whole ball game.
Well,
Dunham ran their offense was up tempo. They forced Episcopal to be called for 3 or 4 substitution penalties. They would have 12, 13 guys. Dunham was just bigger. They were faster. They played with more energy. It was a total domination, honestly, by Dunham. In all the years that Neil Weiner's been there, and we get to see him probably twice a year, I would say, That's probably the best that they've looked at. And you can even go back to the years that they had Derek Stingley. Dunham was really good. I thought both offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator Caleb Linedecker, both of those guys, I think the offensive guy's name is Coach Hand, if I'm not mistaken. They were really – their game plans on both sides of the ball were spot on. Really good stuff.
So the difference with Dunham this year opposed to years past is their interior line on both sides of the ball. Early on in the year, Coach Weiner told us that he really liked them. And, now it seems like that they're getting extra play from younger kids. They're building confidence as well. You got ninth graders that are no longer ninth graders. You got 10th graders that are no longer 10th graders. But when you have a big front up there, it really can dictate what the offense can or cannot do. And we know through the years how well Episcopal's offense is coached and how well they can do things. And they're going to exploit Dunham if there was an opportunity to do it. Obviously, there wasn't, and that's just how good of a front they've got right there.
And one of the biggest things that I saw from Dunham last night was how much fun they had and how much trust.
I'd be having fun, too, if I was up 42.
No, but I mean, this was early, Todd, and
in the quarterback,
trust that the coaches had in the players. I sat there and I watched their defensive guys signal in a stunt to Coach Linedecker, and he says, "Okay, that's what y'all want. Let's do it." He did it. I saw Jackson House signal in plays in certain situations back to the offensive coordinator, and they said, "Okay, let's do it." They trusted their players. The players trusted the coaches. They had fun, and the biggest thing was, it didn't look like they were worried about their self. Everybody was celebrating everybody else's success. And
I hope they didn't high-five any fans, because I know that
no,
could be
they didn't high-five any fans. But when you're buying into what the team wants to do and not what yourself wants to do,
mm-hmm.
then you have something really special going on. I saw a little bit of that last night from Dunham.
But, I know Coach Black always talks about, okay, if you can give me a reason why you want to change this, why you want to call this, I'm okay with
right.
it. So there's that mutual respect of, okay, you want to go with this, let's try it out. And if, it doesn't work or whatever the case may be, at least have some kind of information, some kind of reasoning, some kind of thought behind what you're trying to do.
You want your guys to understand what you're trying to do. You want them to understand the game. And if they can come out and verbally tell you what they're trying to do in football terms, that's great. And, the guys I work with, I try to tell them all the time, you can't go to your coach and say, You ain't got time for that. You've got to be able to say, hey, there's a 1 and a 3, we can run a trap. The worst thing in the world was, when you're on the headset calling plays, and they're like, you remember that play 2 plays ago? You remember that formation? You're like, no, I don't. Just call the play.
Right.
But there's a lot going on out there. But, it was a big win for Episcopal, for Dunham. And there's another big win over in Lafayette area.
Yeah, Turling's over Westgate. Wow. Over Lafayette Christian. This is back-to-back weeks.
And we're about to show the last drive.
That Turling's beats Westgate, snaps their 13-game win streak last week. They beat LCA last night, Lafayette Christian 21-17. They moved to 7-0. And by the way, all they do is third week in a row they get St. Thomas more. But down 17-14, Turling's gets Todd, I call it a championship type of drive. They go 82 yards in 8 plays. They finish the drive with a 38-yard touchdown pass from Preston Welch to Bradford Kane. It was on 4th and 10 also. It was just a few seconds left in the game. But another big thing here, Todd, was Turling's defense. They were the story of the game for me. They forced 4 interceptions from Juwan Johnson. He came into the game for LCA with only 1 on the year. And then Turling's defense stopped LCA 3 times in the red zone and twice inside the 5-yard lines. And also defensive back Trey Parker had 2 interceptions. But Turling, you could argue, Todd, is playing as well as anybody in the state right now.
This is third down downfield, and the next one's going to be 4th and 10. And the throw here, man, it's really remarkable by the quarterback. And they made a play, and sometimes you just have to make plays, and that's probably what's different this year with Turlings is they're able to do that.
Wow.
And that's Juwan Johnson.
Yeah, that was Juwan.
With about 44
quarterback
seconds
rolling
left.
out on the run
Yep.
in a nice
Because Pontier, they're playing as well as anyone.
They can't breathe lightly because
no, you get St. Thomas more next week. So that's by far the toughest 4A district in the state. I mean, there's no if, and, or but about it. When you have Turlings, LCA, STM, Westgate, you don't get a break.
We got more coming up in just a couple of minutes. As Coach mentions, Union Parish head football coach Joe Spatafora will join us in a couple of minutes. But let's get you caught up on scores from around the state. We'll highlight some marquee matchups, and we'll start first with scores from the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Central 38-17. Dutchtown shuts out Live Oak 28-0. East Ascension 45. Walker 28. Denham Springs 27. Santa Maria 21. Zachary a 53-38 winner over Scotlandville. With 7 seconds left, Madison Prep kicks a field goal to go up 40-37 on U-High. St. James defeats Patterson 55-13. And Woodlawn 38. Liberty 7.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
John Curtis defeats Acadiana 35-14. Loreauville 46. Franklin 20. Grand Lake 41. Lake Arthur 36. St. Louis Catholic 23. Lake Charles College Prep 13. Iowa blanks Westlake 27-0. Southside over Sulphur 28-7. Basile 35. Oberlin 13. And Sam Houston, a point better than Lafayette, 42-41.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
Edna Carr 33. Jesuit 17. St. Martinville 35. St. Charles 25. Brother Martin, a 14-7 winner over Holy Cross. Central Catholic 35, Berwick 28. Rummel and St. Aug will play on Saturday. Destrehan over Terrebonne 42-6. Centerville and Hanson still in progress. Edie White 41, Donaldsonville 8.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
West Monroe blanks West Ouachita 43-0. C.E. Bird 39, Parkway 14. Manny all over Winfield 42-14. Oak Grove 57, Faraday 22. Benton 56, Southwood 12. Ouachita a point better than Alexandria in a shootout 49-48. Haynesville 47, Arcadia 18. And St. Frederick 43, Lincoln Prep 26.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
St. Paul blanks North Shore 21-0. Hannon and Salmon still in progress. Kentwood, McDonald 35 still in progress. Pine a 28-26 winner over Amite. Franklinton 26, Pearl River 13. Bogalusa and Jules Sumner still in progress. Hammond 34, Covington 18, and Lakeshore 35, Beranger 13.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, It's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shop a style.
Oh, yeah!
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste.
Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Week 7 edition of the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. We now jump on the Cardinal Financial Hotline to speak with a victorious head coach in Coach Joe Spadafora from Union Parish. They get the win in early Week 7 action on Thursday night, 29-21 over Sterlington. Not only a win, but also a win inside 1-3A. Coach, congratulations on the victory. Thanks so much for a couple minutes with us here on the show tonight.
Oh, thanks, and thanks for having me.
Coach, you still celebrating that win?
Oh, no, just relaxing today. Taking it easy. It's not a lot of times you get a Friday off, so it wasn't a bad day to take one off.
Well, Richwood, I think, surprised some people. I knew they were decent, but I didn't know they would beat Wasserman 40-8. Richwood, I believe, is y'all's next opponent, correct?
They are, yes, sir.
Thanks for reminding
next week.
Thanks for reminding you,
right? Exactly right. And I'm gonna tell you, Richwood is they've got a good ball club. They've got some dudes up front on both sides, and they got some good athletes in the skill spot. So, yeah, Richwood is a good ball club this year.
Well, Coach, you got off to a quick start last night. About a 2-play drive. Trey Holly, 2 carries, about 57 yards for a touchdown. Then you had a second possession, took over on the 25 after a mishandled punt snap. Got you off to a quick 15-0 start. Tell us a little bit about the game.
We did. We had a quick start there, and actually my kicker right there on that first touchdown we scored missed the extra point completely. And Trey caught a fire, and the receiver got out there, so Trey threw a 2-point conversion on that. So it wasn't actually an attempted 2-point conversion. He just totally missed the ball. I don't know. He's our 8th grader, and he's gonna be good, but he had a little lack of focus right there, I guess.
Hey, that's a lot of pressure under as many people as that was at that game last night.
Hey, I'm telling you, I said, what happened? He said, Trey told me to look at him. I said, yeah. I said, what? He said, yes, Trey told me to look at him. I said, yeah, but you got to look at that ball. So anyway, it works in our favor, and we get a good 2-point conversion out of it. So, yeah, we started out strong right there, and Sturgeon made an early miscue right there on special teams and got us back in scoring position to go up. And the defense made DeAntron Hopkins had I don't know, 103, 104-yard interception return for a touchdown right there, deep in our own territory. That was fixing to be a score for them to get the game in, within a point or tied.
That really turned the game, didn't it, Coach, that play?
It did. It really did. That was a big play. And then there before half, we had another opportunity, but we were in shotgun and snapped the ball over our quarterback's head, so blowed anything we had there just to go out of half. And but good game. I mean, just very physical game.
So, Coach, I would think everyone knows that Trey Holly plays for you in Union Parish, and one of the things we talked about as he set this rushing record mark is how fortunate he's been to be behind some very good offensive lines in high school for that many years in a row. Is that your O-line coach, or is that your lineman that's making those holes for him?
Well, no doubt it's a combination of both. The first couple of years Trey was here, he had Jerry Ginn was his offensive line coach. And then the last couple of years he's had Joel Ward, who's an Oak Grove product. So, and Coach Ward's a good coach doing a good job with that O-line, in which right now, I mean, he's got freshmen and sophomores. So that's who, Trey's getting some tough yards, and but they're getting better every week.
One thing when you look at Trey, and I don't know statistically speaking, but it seems like this year his carries are maybe a little less than in the past. Am I correct on that? And are you doing that to try to keep him fresh for the long haul? Because when it comes, at second week of November, he's going to be getting the ball a whole bunch.
That's exactly right, and that's what it is. We're trying to keep him fresh, and I'm having to use him some on defense. He had 5 tackles last night, and he wants more plays than I give him. But I just try to keep him as fresh as I can, and and that's actually I'm playing from a linebacker spot, and I'm gonna tell you, he's just as good on that side of the ball.
Well, you stole my question because I was about to ask you, if we take running back off the table, could he get a scholarship playing defense?
Well, you remember him last year in the state championship.
No doubt.
He did it all.
I mean, it's wherever you put him, he's the best player at that position, and there's no doubt. He can disrupt a lot of things from any position on the field.
Coach,
he had a 40-yard punt last night inside the 20 there at the end of the fourth. And so, he's our punter as well.
Jimmy, I told Coach on a text earlier today, he ran, it was towards the end of the game, it's 4th and short. He faked it, and I didn't care of course, it was a great call if it had been a completion, but the idea behind it, was awesome. And he's, of course, saying, I wish it would have worked, of course. But I really like that aggressiveness in the play calling. But, they're in huddles, which we don't see hardly anymore. And you guys know each other. You guys know each other so well. And it's just like a physical, brutal game after it's lucky it's on a Thursday, I guess. It gives you an extra day to relax.
Oh, no doubt about it. It was. I mean, there were some hard hits last night from both sides. And at the end of the game, those young men shook hands and enjoyed and hugged each other. And but in between those whistles for 1 through 4 quarters, I'll tell you, it was a fun thing to watch. It really was. And, and luckily my kids did enough to come out on top.
And to me, that's high school football. It's small communities where both communities You probably could have robbed every bank store, whatever you wanted, because nobody was at either one of them. Clean played game, hard fought, two teams that really hate each other but respect each other.
Yep.
I mean, it's what high school football
Standing
football
room
is
only
about.
over there in that,
Yeah.
that photo.
Yeah. So, Coach Spatafor, man, congratulations. I know that one meant a lot to you. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you down the road.
Hey, I sure appreciate you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can't say enough about the atmosphere because in the video we saw, courtesy of Night Vision, from that Todd.
That was KNOE.
KNOE. Was that, you know, the stands were packed and then there was ropes along the outsides of just people, you know, 3 or 4 rows deep. We've talked about that a couple times with different atmospheres, but that's incredible for those young men out there, and what a win for UP.
You know, Sterlington this year has not only battled injuries, but they've also battled turnover issues.
Mm-hmm.
They had 3, I think, last night, 3 earlier. I think they had 5 against Oak Grove.
9 penalties, 3 turnovers last night.
And they weren't very they were back-to-back personal fouls too at one particular time. And you know, that's just not a Coach Doty type team, and he'll get all that straightened out. But you know, man, I tell you what, it was a big win for Union Parish. And but they've still got, I think they got Carroll, they've got Wassman, and they've got Richwood all left. Is that what you got?
When you look at Sterlington, 3 and 4. Nobody would have thought they would be 3 and 4 at this time, but their losses are West Monroe, Oak Grove, Carroll, and Union. So they're all pretty good teams. Union's only loss was Captain Shreve in week 3, and if you played those 2 today, Union probably wins that game.
So one of the scores that we got a little bit late on our first scoreboard, but just to make sure we got it across, it was Madison Prep 40, U High 37. If we can pull this video up, Paul, this is looks like a kick from about
29 yards.
Yeah, 16 or so.
With 7 seconds left after they recovered a fumble in their territory. So, big win for Madison Prep. I did not see them scoring 40 on U-High's defense, but they did. And while we're talking, West Side wins 41-38 over Lincoln High. I know Coach Josh will be happy.
Good night all around.
Yep.
We'll take a time out. When we get back, we'll get another full scoreboard in. This is the Week 7 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, and your view.
Mom, what's for breakfast?
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
barbecue guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com.
Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Week 7 edition of the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Kate Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. Tonight's walk-ons game of the week took us out to the campus of Zachary High School. The Broncos took care of business tonight against the Hornets of Scotlandville with a 53-18 win. And the head coach of the Broncos, Coach David Bruton, is now joining us here on the Cardinal Financial Hotline. Coach Brew, congratulations on the win. Thanks for a couple of minutes with us tonight.
Thank you guys for having me, man. We appreciate it.
Coach, after they scored, they went down the opening drive, made a play. They hit a 39-yard pass play for a touchdown, which you know is going to happen with the athletes they have and the way that they can run and the quarterback that they have is going to happen. Then they have a pooch kick. I thought your head, the back of your head, got redder than our shirts me and Kate had on tonight.
Well, you should have stayed for the second half.
Oh, no. Come on.
Got my first penalty in 25 years tonight. That's right.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunate. You know, I had I got 3 different explanations on that play. And unfortunately, the call did not go our way, and they were able to put another field goal up, and we find ourselves down 10-0 with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, and we haven't touched the ball yet offensively.
Right, and that's what I was going to bring up. And you even passed me, and we had a brief conversation. Said, hey, a lot of football left. It's 10-0, and you hadn't touched the football. That was with 5:01 left in the game. But then you responded with 36 unanswered points in the first half. I thought your running back, your whole offense, and give credit to both sides of the ball. Defense made some big plays, but your offensive line controlled it. Cameron Stewart had big nights. I thought Eli made 2 really special throws to where he was flushed out, sprinted to the right, and then threw back across his body. Everything you tell a high school quarterback not to do, he made those type of throws. I thought he was really special in the first half.
Yeah, and it was good, with all the chaos going on there in the first quarter. Good to have a guy like that out on the field that kind of keeps everything calm and lead. It led the guys to 5 straight touchdown scoring drives there after that happened. So, you go in at half with I don't even remember what it was, 36-10, I think is what it was.
36-10, correct.
Yeah, and things got a couple things went down in the second half, and it happens. I mean, every time we kind of hook up with those guys, the last few times we played them, we've gotten out to huge leads, and then different things take place in the second half, and the next thing you know, there's drama at the end. It is what it is. At one point we're up 50-7 16, I think, going in the fourth quarter, and the final score was 53-38 or something like that. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm proud of our guys for you know, going down 10 and then just settling in after that and go and make a bunch of plays.
Coach, coming into this game, how are you doing, by the way?
Great.
You know, Scotlandville has been a team that is scary. I mean, they beat St. Aug. They went up and played West Monroe.
They beat Rummel.
They beat Rummel.
They beat Rummel. They lost the car. Beat Rummel. Should have beat St. Aug. I mean, should have beat West Monroe.
So they were a good team coming in. It wasn't a team that you could just kind of take lightly. They never are. But I mean, this year especially.
Well, they got a running back that's averaging almost 200 yards a game. They got a quarterback that is very athletic and can sling it around really, really well, and they've got a receiver that's lightning in the bottle. I mean, they got, you know, all three of those pieces to the offense. Where they make some things difficult for you on defense, and so that's why against a team like that, it's so important to string together a few great defensive series and then turn those into points. I thought we had a tremendous advantage in the kicking game tonight, or going into the game, I should say. You know, their punter didn't get off very many great punts, and so we had really good field position off their punts all night long, and we were able to capitalize with that field position. When you have opportunities to score touchdowns against them, you better score touchdowns, because field goals aren't going to get it done, because they can score in bunches, and thankfully we were able to do that tonight.
Coach, early in the ball game, you ran a 2-point conversion and completed it. It was a very nice play. Is that something that you guys had been working on? You wanted to implement? Maybe it was the situation called for, something like that. But it certainly
we got zero coverage, which is what I thought we would get, and so we did a couple things to exploit that, and it worked out well for us. Yeah, it kind of been saving that one to run when we got the specific coverage that we wanted, and we knew we were getting it on that play.
Coach, any update on Ethan Veal?
I went to the hospital. He's there right now, but he was feeling fine. He stayed the whole game, stayed on the sideline throughout the course of the second half, and he's just going to get checked out right now. I think he's okay.
Well, Coach, I thought y'all responded really well. You know, and a lot of times, Todd and I, we've talked about this. When you're playing, I don't know that you would call Scotlandville and Zachary a rivalry game, but it's a big game because the two teams are always pretty dadgum good when they play. And a lot of times you see a big pass play, you see a big run, you see a big kickoff return to open the game for a touchdown, and all of a sudden you look up on the scoreboard and it's 14-0 and you're down. And you still have a ton of time left, and you got to settle in. And a lot of times we talk about the team that can settle in first at the end of the game is going to be the team that's victorious. And I thought that was kind of a case of what happened tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the emotion of that game early on. I mean, it's what we've been telling our guys all week long. Hey, listen, I'm not worried about having to give you a great pregame speech or having to ask you to get pumped up or whatever else, because the emotion when these two teams play, it's going to be there. It just comes down to execution, and you've got to execute at a high level, and thankfully we did that tonight.
How's your little man now?
He's 10.
Oh, Lord, he ain't so little no more. Hey, is he playing ball?
That's right. Yep.
You coaching him?
No, I'm not.
I don't think he quite has the time to do that.
Yeah, I'm sitting. I sit in the stands and yell at coaches and officials. I think that's what you're supposed to do.
That's
exactly what you're supposed to do.
I enjoy just hanging out and sitting in the stand and watching them compete, man. It's a lot of fun.
10 years old. Wow.
Well, Coach, man, look, congratulations and good luck to you the rest of the way. I know we'll probably be back up there week 10. I think that's a pretty good game. I know you can't look forward to it. You got a big one against Central last night. They played Catholic High pretty well tonight. So, but congratulations on the win and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, guys, man. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Always a good time over on the campus of Zachary High School, and lots of good familiar people to see out there, good people. We saw Scott Nielsen from BSN Sports, which reminds us we got a couple of new polos. Coach Black is showcasing the white polo from this year's collection. Keep it on.
From this year's collection.
Yeah.
I like it.
Now, the quarter zip, which I want to pull out next week because I looked at the forecast.
Yes.
We're in the morning in like the 40s and 50s. I think we're going to have a chance to wear it next Friday. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. But, a lot of good people out there in BSN Sports. They have their logo on the down markers just to remind you they're the best supply network in sports.
They take care of me and my footballs, that's for sure. They've gotten us hats.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember several times, Jimmy, it was like week 5. We would be out there, and it'd be nice. And by the end of the half, we'd be freezing our tail off. I remember there was a windy game. It was over at they don't play there anymore. What is it? Over on, like, going to your house?
Oh, Leadership.
Yep, that's it.
Leadership. Okay, do we want to do student athlete now?
I'll tell you what,
since it was that game?
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull that photo up, Paul, if you got it. If not,
Hey, look, I'm
going
to say this too. Coach Brewerton and a lot of different coaches have had a lot of really good things to say about Ryan Cook at Scotlandville. He's went in and put in a lot of discipline. He's not rebuilding it this year, but he's kind of rebooting it in a way. But he's done a really good job, and a lot of coaches I've talked with has had a lot of good things to say with him. So the future's bright at Scotlandville. But our State Farm Student Athlete of the Week is Scotlandville wide receiver Colin Miller. He takes as much pride in his academics as he does in sports. Has a 4.1 GPA. Really impressive young man. He works part-time at Chick-fil-A. He's part of his youth organization group at church. In the summer, he volunteers at his grandmother's daycare center, reading to the young children, maintaining the property. He's always involved in some community service type of things. The future is really bright for him. He has his priorities straight. He had sent me a text yesterday getting to read it, or this morning. It was really impressive. So want to honor Colin Miller from Scotlandville High School.
He's our State Farm Student Athlete of the Week. Thanks to our friends over at State Farm for making this possible each and every week. We will honor a Student Athlete of the Week on Friday night, and then again on Louisiana Prep Weekly on Sunday. We'll be honoring some more athletes and the good work they do. So with just a couple minutes remaining, we'll take a timeout. We'll get our full scoreboard when we return. This is the Week 7 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Your View.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shopper style.
Oh, yeah!
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to
Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
We'll take a look back at a couple more Thursday night Week 7 matchups when we get back here in a couple seconds. This is our next full scoreboard from around the state, and we'll start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Catholic High defeats Central 38-17. Dutchtown blanks Live Oak 28-0. East Ascension over Walker 45-28. Denham Springs a score better than Santa Maria 27-21. Zachary all over Scotlandville 53-38. Madison Prep 40, U-High 37, a field goal at the end. St. James 55, Patterson 13, and Woodlawn 38, Liberty 7.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
John Curtis 35, Acadiana 14, Laurelville 46, Franklin 20. Grand Lake over Lake Arthur 41-36. St. Louis Catholic 23, Lake Charles College Prep 13. Iowa blanks Westlake 27-0. Southside over Sulphur 28-7. Basile 35, Oberlin 13, and Sam Houston 42, Lafayette 41.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
Endicott 33, Jesuit 17, St. Martinville 35, St. Charles 25. Brother Martin a touchdown better than Holy Cross 14-7. Central Catholic touchdown better than Berwick 35-28. Rummel and St. Aug will play Saturday. Destrehan all over Terrebonne 42-6. Hanson a 40-8 winner over Centerville. And Edie White 41, Donaldsonville 8.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
West Monroe blanks West Washita 43-0. C.E. Bird 39, Parkway 14. Mandy 42, Winfield 14. Oak Grove 57, Faraday 22. Benton 56, Southwood 12. Washita 49, Alexandria 48. Haynesville 47, Arcadia 18. And St. Frederick 43, Lincoln Prep 26.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
St. Paul blanks North Shore 21-0. Salmon touchdown better than Hannon 28-21. Kentwood over McDonough 35, 29-12. Pine 28, Amite 26. Franklinton 26, Pearl River 13. Bogalusa 40-27 winner over Jewel Sumner. Hammond 34, Covington 18. And Lakeshore 35, Laranja 13.
Thank you, Skip, for getting our scores read tonight. And also, if you're looking for something that you may have not heard on our radio scoreboard, a full scoreboard is on Twitter at Louisiana Prep, And if you're watching on YouTube or YourView, you will find that ticker on the bottom of the screen to get you a full Week 7 scoreboard. Looking back at a couple of games from last night, we had mentioned that dominant performance by Dunham over Episcopal. Neville getting a pretty solid win, 55-0 over Grant. Looking through some of the other scores, Airline 55, Houghton 42 was another one.
Airline and Houghton was one that caught my eye. Offensive shootout. Airline had 535 yards of offense. Houghton had 493. Airline starts 0-3. They've won 4 straight. They're playing really well right now. Running back Trey Jackson had 6 touchdowns last night. 5 rushing, 1 receiving. Quarterback Ben Taylor comes into the game with 1,588 yards, 23 touchdowns. He throws 3 more last night. And then Houghton got a good performance from their quarterback, Colin Raines. He also had 3 touchdown passes. Another one that caught my eye was Slidell over Ponchatoula. Coach Scobell over there, they started kind of slow for Slidell did. Trail 13-8 late in the second quarter, right before half. Slidell put together a drive that ended with a touchdown, 20 seconds left in the half. They converted 2 fourth-down conversions on that drive to go ahead, and the second half was all Slidell. Slidell quarterback Luke Guidry finished 18-30, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns, completed passes to 7 different receivers. And when you can do that in high school, you're really spreading the ball around really well. Jaden Williams
got to hand it off to 7 different people.
Yeah. Jaden Williams, 9 receptions, 160 yards, a touchdown. Running back Kendall Carter, 13 carries, 111 yards, 3 touchdowns. The defense forced 2 interceptions and had held Ponchatoula to 129 yards of offense. I thought they were going to be playing Covington next week for basically the district championship, and Hammond goes and upsets Covington tonight. Todd, I think it was 34-18. Covington only had 1 loss, I think, going in, and no losses in the district.
Anybody want to win 6-5-8?
That's
a
well.
District
St. Paul Hammond's definitely the most improved over there for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. Dorset Buckles has done an incredible job under extreme circumstances. And another one over there, North Shore coming into tonight, 4-2, playing St. Paul, 2-4, which you don't usually see Ken Sears teams over there at 2-4. St. Paul goes and gets a 21-0 shutout. So, they lose to Covington last week, 37-14. That district there is, I'm not going to say it's a good district. It's a very competitive district with a lot of equal teams where anybody can beat anybody on that night.
So Catholic Point Capee, Episcopal, Parkway, and Berwick were 4 undefeated teams that went down this week.
Glenbrook, are they the longest winning streak in the state at this point? I do see they won over Ringgold.
Yeah.
So there you have that. More chances to speak with some Victoria's head coaches. We'll look at some of the other regions in the state, how things are faring as we're inching ever so closer to the postseason. It's the Week 7 edition, Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show.
Mom, what's for breakfast?
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience, shopper style.
Oh, yeah!
The Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. From the Jamborees to the Superdome, your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Wazan.
Good evening and welcome to Hour 2 of the Week 7 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. As we roll into Hour 2, we will continue to break down tonight's results by region. And right now we'll head out to the River Parish area. And on the phone with us is the head coach of the Letcher Bulldogs, Coach Dwayne Jenkins. They get a nice non-district win against a fellow River Parish opponent, 35-14 over Hunville. Coach, congratulations on the win. Thanks so much for a couple minutes with us tonight.
Thank y'all for having me. It's been a while.
That's because you don't answer your phone, Coach.
Damn, like that, huh? Coming out hot.
Coach, you guys moved to 6-1 on the year. Good win over a good Hunville team, coached by Daniel Lequette, also another good coach, good friend of ours. But your team's been playing really well this year.
We have. We started building some of this momentum last year. We had a good senior group kind of got us back on track after a couple of seasons that weren't up to our standards, obviously. And we've been able to kind of roll that into the off season, into this fall, and really just been able to pick up. And I think we're still improving, which is always a good thing. And that's been our challenge to our kids, is just keep finding ways to get better each and every week. And at this time of the year, everybody's got bumps and bruises and injuries and things to overcome, and that's the thing I was the proudest of my team tonight. We overcame a lot of obstacles that we had in our way this week, and kids gutted out and played hard.
Coach, as we both are offensive guys, we both also know that defense wins championships. And your last 4 games, your defense has really played well. Talk a little bit about those guys.
Yeah, that group, and they really played great tonight. The scores that they gave up were after the game was already pretty much wrapped up. We were up 28-0 before we gave up a score, and our defense really did a phenomenal job. Coach Cade Worsham's our defensive coordinator. He came to us. He spent some time at Zachary and at Parkview, and Coach Chris Daigle, who's a veteran defensive coordinator, is obviously there, and Coach Cortland Taylor coaches our safeties, and we got a young guy who played for us, Coach Rowdy Scott, coaching our defensive line, and Coach Blake Forsythe kind of helps on both sides of the ball with our linemen. And really, those guys have built a group that plays fast. We're not very big. Our biggest defensive lineman's probably about 215, 220. And we play in a 3-man front, but those guys play extremely hard and do a great job with some technique. And we really just got guys that fly around and get to the football.
Coach, explain something to me, please, because I was talking with Eric Held last night at the Dunham game. Lunch Winfield, what does he have to do to get a college offer? I mean,
that is a great question.
I mean, he's got going into tonight. He's got 2,130 yards total offense, 32 touchdowns. He's rushed for 1,300 yards. 1,035 yards, 18 touchdowns. He's completed 70% of his passes. He's 7 for 10 for 1,095 yards, 14 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. And he's done this for 3 straight years, and he does not have a college scholarship offer. Now, I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to tell you he's going to be a quarterback in college, but he's a good enough athlete to play somewhere on a college level.
Josh Allen didn't either, so he's got hope.
Yeah, that's true.
So, let me tell you this, Jimmy, on Lunch Winfield. I've been doing this for 21 years. I've coached some really good quarterbacks.
You have.
I've coached some really great football players. I have not coached one like him. He is different. He is the complete package. He is the least risky recruit in the state of Louisiana. He's 6'2". He's 220. He can play quarterback. He can play safety. He can play running back. He can play receiver. He can play linebacker. He can play just about anything. But take all of that away. Whatever everybody sees on the field pales in comparison to what this kid does in my locker room and on my school's campus on an everyday basis. He is the best kid that walks the halls of our school. He leads our school, not just my football program. So I've been calling college coaches. He's picked up a couple of offers. Nicholls State has offered him now. Southeastern offered him last week. I think McNeese is coming on. So I think the Southland Conference schools in the state are starting to give him the attention he deserves. But also there's been some more. Coach Gabe Petita, he believes in him. He's at Florida State now. I think we getting some traction there. Coach Tony Elliott, the head coach at Virginia, flew a guy down today to come meet about Lunch Winfield. So I think it's finally starting to click. People are starting to see what this kid is. He's rushed as a sophomore, he had almost 1,500 yards rushing in his first time playing quarterback. Last year, he rushed for 1,800 and threw for 1,000. This year, you just mentioned it, and what he did tonight, he went out and scored 5 more touchdowns.
It's incredible. And look, when Coach Jenkins, he was at Lutcher for a long time, and so he's coached the Gavin Webster,
Blaine Gauthier.
Yep. Yeah, Gauthier. I mean, Jarvis Landry was a wide out there. I mean, so he's coached a lot of really good football players. He had a big defensive lineman that went to Tennessee or signed out of Tennessee. Yep. And so, I mean, he's coached a lot of really good players. You have Gregory Clayton that's at LSU right now.
John Trey Kirkland,
another one. And here you are saying this is the best one of the bunch. And
come on, Coach Rebo.
It's something.
He's
Coach,
different. He's just different.
Well, and that's the word that you use that really piques my interest because, You don't throw that word around.
You don't throw it loosely.
You don't throw different around loosely, right?
That's right.
As crazy as it may sound, but you just don't. And for you to say that really kind of makes me think, what's going on? I mean,
they're gonna tell you, Todd, and we've been through this with kids that they're an inch too short, or they run a 4.79 instead of a 4.75 or something. They're going to come up with some excuse, and we've seen it before when kids were recruiting our kids. That he's an inch too short. So what?
The thing I'm getting right now is we just not sure we can play. Look, no disrespect to any of the college coaches. They make a lot of money to figure out what he can coach, what he can play. That's why they call you coach. Like, the kid's going to make your football team better. Because you know what? He will. If you tell him, we need you to be a safety, we need you to be a linebacker, we need you to play special teams, he's going to come in there and do it. And he's going to do a great job at it. He's going to work his butt off in the weight room, and he's going to be a leader on your campus.
And by the way, he's one of the leading punters in the area also, in case anybody didn't know that.
I would think that would be a bonus that he could play.
Right.
Well, that's a good thing, Coach. He can't play.
I told somebody today, you think what Taysom Hill does for the Saints, that some college team couldn't use a guy like that?
Right.
If he can do that.
Well, Coach, talk a couple about his receivers, Tylen Johnson and Damian Marcel.
Right. So Damian's a sophomore. We bit the bullet with him a little bit last year and got him a ton of experience as a freshman. He's a blow the top off guy, and he's been able to show that. He's got great hands, obviously. Has done a good job and is developing. We really like what he can do for us to be able to stretch the field. And then Tylen Johnson is a senior, and he's really making the most of it. He scored another touchdown tonight. But we think he gives us that true number one receiver that teams have to game plan for. And with a guy like Lunch at quarterback, if you got to commit a corner and a safety to Tylen Johnson, your numbers start getting a little light in the box. So we feel like we can put some teams in some predicaments there because of Lunch's ability to run, and Tylen and Damian. And we've got a couple other guys that are contributing. We've got like 5 or 6 guys with 7 to 8 catches when you start putting in our running backs, Tyreek Brown and Trenton Cheney. Our other 2 receivers, Carson LeBlanc and Luke Babin. We got a tight end that's caught a couple of balls and scored a couple of big touchdowns. But I think the story for tonight, we had some injuries that we had to deal with. We had to pull over 2 guys that got very little practice time. One of them starts at defensive end. The other one's our jack linebacker. And they had to play offensive line for us tonight. And our offensive line did an incredible job against a very physical and talented Hornville team.
Coach, you said you've been doing this for 21 years. What is the one thing over those 21 years that you've changed that's made you a better coach?
That's
I
a
don't
tough
think
question.
I know it all.
That's a tough question.
I quit thinking I know it all. I knew it all. I think when, and part of it's because I was extremely fortunate early on to coach some really great football players and have a lot of success. And sometimes you might think that it's you and not the kids. Mm-hmm. And then the longer that you're in it, you understand that the kids are everything. And the kids make great coaches. Great kids make great coaches. In our program, we're not as talented as we've been in the past, from top to bottom. And our kids know it. But what we're lacking in talent, we are making up for in the way that we play and how hard our kids are playing. And we have harped that on them. We don't think we're the most talented team a lot of weeks when we go out there and play. But the one thing that we'll be able to do is we're going to try to outplay everybody we play against. And look, we're 6-1. We lost to a really good St. Charles Catholic team where my guy got tackled on the 4-yard line on the last play of the game on an 80-something yard play that would have been a Hail Mary to win it. That kid made a winning play. That was 2 good football teams. Obviously, they've been banged up a little bit here. As far as injuries go, I know they've been kind of dealing with that a little bit, but Coach Stein will get those guys ready for the playoffs.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you taking up a minute of your time. I know it's been a long day, long night for you, but congratulations on the win over a good Hahnville team, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank y'all, and thank y'all for doing this every week.
Thank you.
Look, I hope Coach Rebo's listening. I know he listens every week. With a kid named Lunch, the NILs just write themselves. Let's get him in Thibodaux. Let's make this happen. We got places to eat. We need
Bubba's.
Oh, Bubba's, fantastic. Right down the road. You're not far from a walk-ons. So, look, we can make this happen. We can get great play from a kid right down the road.
Well, Nichols has offered. Southeastern's coming along, and like I said, McNeese is fixing to, and maybe some bigger schools. But I just sometimes these college coaches, when you talk to them and you present them with a player, and they just say this or this or this is the reason why, and you just scratch your head. And the bottom line is Winfield's a winner, and he, like you said, I thought what really hit home was how Todd said he's different. But what he does around the school, he said he's not only the leader of the football team, he's the leader of the school in the hallways, and that says a lot about a young man.
You know, one thing he said, too, about good coaches or good players make good coaches make good men.
Right.
And, you know, when you talk about Coach Spatafora, and, you know, people can think whatever they want to think about him, but the one thing he believes in is discipline. You've got to have it. Every good program has to have it. And it starts with the coach's influence on his players, and it's accountability and so forth and so on.
I mean, look, Boston Scott's still on an NFL roster with the Philadelphia Eagles. You can talk about size, little guy right down the road, Zachary.
Zachary.
You know, and the praise he talked about from a standpoint of what he means in the hallway. I mean, in the locker room as a leader, you know, that kind of stuff. Look, in today's age, the way we're seeing certain plays, the way we're seeing certain personal foul penalties, I think you want more people like that.
What you running to 40? I don't know. I've never seen him caught.
Yeah.
About 3 seconds. All right, we'll take a timeout in just a bit, but let's get you caught up on scores from around the state, from all the regions, and we'll start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Catholic defeats Central 38-17. Dutchtown blanks Live Oak 28-0. East Ascension 45. Walker 28. Denham Springs 27. Santa Maria 21. Zachary 53. Scotlandville 38. Madison Prep 40. U-High 37. St. James 55. Patterson 13. And Woodlawn 38. Liberty 7.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
John Curtis 35, Acadiana 14, Laurelville 46, Franklin 20, Grand Lake 41, Lake Arthur 36, St. Louis Catholic 23, Lake Charles College Prep 13, Iowa blanks Westlake 27-0, Southside over Sulphur 28-7, Basile over Oberlin 35-13, Sam Houston 42, Lafayette 41.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
Edna Carr 33, Jesuit 17, St. Martinville 35, St. Charles 25, Brother Martin over Holy Cross 14-7, Central Catholic 35, Berwick 28, Rummel and St. Oliver play on Saturday, Destrehan 42, Terrebonne 6, Hanson 40, Centerville 8, E. White 41, Donaldsonville 8.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
West Monroe blanks West Washita 43-0. C.E. Bird 39, Parkway 14. Manny Oliver Winfield 42-14. Oak Grove 57, Faraday 22. Benton 56, Southwood 12. Washita 49, Alexandria 48 in a close one. Haynesville 47, Arcadia 18, and St. Frederick 43, Lincoln Prep 26.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
St. Paul's blanks North Shore 21-0, Solomon 28, Archbishop Hannon 21, Kentwood 29, McDonald 35-12, Pine defeats Amite 28-26, Franklinton 26, Pearl River 13, Bogalusa over Jewel Sumner 40-27, Hammond 34, Covington 18, and Lakeshore 35, LaRanger 13.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jdacody.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Week 7 edition of the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. And joining us back on the Cardinal Financial Hotline, head coach of Madison Prep, Coach Landry Williams. They get the win and a very exciting ball game from all we could tell. Over U High tonight, 40-37. Coach, first off, congratulations on the win, and thank you for joining us here late on the Scoreboard Show.
Hey, thanks for having me on tonight.
Coach, man, what a ball game, huh? I mean, from the get-go, it never got where one team had a substantial lead. It was 16-16 at half. It goes 30-22, 30-30, 37-30, 37-37. You get a 99-yard drive at the end of the game to kick a 29-yard field goal and get the win. Just take us through the ebbs and flows of the game. It was crazy.
Man, it was. Hey, I'll tell you what, it was hats off to, to both teams. I mean, you guys really laid it on the line tonight. Great football, two great football programs, and kids just laid it on the line. I mean, in the last year we got pretty close and came down to a controversial call in the last drive of the game, and this year, the same excitement, the same thrill, and the same grit. Neither team wanted to lose tonight, and we played like it.
You've been kicking a lot of field goals this year?
Yeah, I mean, we kept getting better at it. Real young team, probably the youngest team I had since I've been here. And I know, Coach you how you go into a lot of transitions as well, playing a lot of young guys. But, that's how you grow up. You put the guys in, you coach them up, and you put them out there, and you let them represent. And our guys really represent tonight.
Coach, Tylen Johnson, your quarterback, a young sophomore, replacing a guy that did everything for you. Zion Chris is one of the better players in the Baton Rouge area in a long time. Just the different ways he did things and won championships, different offenses. You ask a lot. How's Tylen doing for you?
Tylen, I tell him to start the year off, the season off, and like, hey, just be yourself. Zion just was a different beast. Zion just a different beast. 4'4" guy, 6'2", 205. I mean, he's just different. And Tylen is totally opposite. He's short. So I was like, man, just make good decisions with the ball and play within yourself. Don't turn the ball over. And just kind of like be a game manager, until we can get everybody rolling and, you get your feet underneath you. But tonight he really played well. He played he stayed within himself. Didn't take too many chances as a young guy, but he really kept his head up. He worked hard. He stayed locked in and focused. And that what kind of really made me, draw him to me because he just got this focus and maturity about himself where he don't get rattled. He try to stay in and deliver with his arm. And he's just not scared of the moment. So I noticed that last year as a freshman, but he just was playing behind Zion, so he wasn't getting much work.
Todd, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying but, over the summer he put a lot of work in. We started off with Brother Martin, which was a tough get out, for a young kid, but he stayed in there, and just continued to get better each and every week. So that's all we're trying to do is get better every week and get ready for the playoffs.
I was just going to bring up your schedule. And not only Madison Prep, but U-High. They're both 4-2 coming into tonight. Madison Prep's 2 losses were Brother Martin and Scotlandville. U-High's 2 losses were to Catholic and Rummel. Madison Prep goes to Warren Easton next week. And we've talked about Madison Prep before. They're not going to back away from anybody. And when you talk about splitting, we've talked with basketball coaches over there and football coaches. They all tell you the same thing. Just we'll play whoever anywhere. Don't matter.
Yeah, anybody. Man. We play hard. We coach hard. And, we just want our guys to represent our program well and to represent our, us as coaches,
Well, on that note, Coach, I want to ask you, what's number 19's name? He's on defense. Tyron
Cage, yes, sir.
So a story got back about me. It was a couple of weeks ago against Parkview. And this young man won a lot of Parkview fans over by his demeanor, how he competed, but yet the guy across from him, it was, between the whistles they competed. Afterwards, they just kind of got to know each other. It was an odd way that it did. But the family just has so many good things to say about him. And I wanted to make sure you found out because I know the mom called the principal to let her know, but I'm sure you heard it. But, they represent your school well, and it's better to know when you're not around what they're doing. And I'm here to tell you that they're doing a great job even when you don't know it.
Hey, I really appreciate it. We teach guys, to try to make the best decision as possible and don't embarrass your family, don't embarrass yourself, and just be a good person. We put a lot of emphasis on that. And kids are kids. They're going to make mistakes and do crazy things. But, we always preaching to do the right thing, have the character and set the standard and, those kind of things to, just at the end of the day, you're only going to play football for so long, but you got to the rest of your life to be a man and take care of your family and, and be a father and stuff like that. So we just put a lot of emphasis on just being a good guy. And, and sometimes it's hard in this day and time.
Talk a little bit real quick about David Jones before we let you go, Coach.
Oh, David Jones, he is a real tough kid. he played a lot during our championship run. You can put him anywhere on the field. He can make plays for you. He can play running back, wide receiver, defensive back, cornerback, safety. He's just an all-around athlete. And he came up big for us tonight with some big hits, breaking up some passes and, just being David. He really works hard. Anywhere in the field, he can make a play. He can make a play wherever you put him. He's that kind of guy. And hats off to him tonight. We've been able to give him a bunch of touches lately. Him and Traylon James. He really went out and put the team on their shoulders tonight, and those guys came through for us.
Well, we're real happy that Coach Jeff Jones emailed you some good plays for tonight.
Jeff hard on me. That's my friend. We've been friends since 6th grade. We go way back, and Coach Adger. He kept us together and working hard. So a lot of things we more out of a program really off of Coach Adger. His standing and example that he set for us as players.
That's a pretty good one to look up to, Coach. I got a lot of respect for Harvey Adger, one of the best ever in Baton Rouge. Well, Coach, look, man, hard-fought game, clean game, two of the better programs in that division. So congratulations, again, Madison Prep, a 40-37 winner over U High tonight, capping it with a 99-yard drive and scoring with 7 seconds left. So, Coach, thank you for taking up your time. Best of luck to you the rest of the way, and especially next week against Warren Easton.
Guys, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Oh, nice. Warren Easton, huh? He's got
Yeah, they got Warren Easton next week.
So let me tell you quick. I'll make an abbreviated version. So it was Cohen Carmouche was with right tackle. Teron Cage was at defensive end. And somehow at halftime, the dad of Cohen just shook the guy's hand and said, "Hey, I'm, Cohen's dad. You're playing across from me." Well, they started talking when Cohen gets down the next time, Teron goes, "Hey, Cohen, how are you?" But before they checked, it was one of those games that got out of hand, and they checked him out. And before he went off the sideline, he went and shook Cohen's hand and said, "Hey, we're going to take a picture after the game," and then went off the field. And so they did. And it was a pretty cool story. There's a lot more to it than what I just gave, but the whole bottom line is that you compete between the whistles and respect each other after that.
Right. Couple more Baton Rouge scores, Katie. Sure. Denham Springs wins 27-21 over Santa Ma.
Yep.
That'll set up a key district matchup next week. Denham Springs will go to East Ascension. East Ascension a 45-28 winner over Walker.
Back to back for them.
And then also Dutchtown 27-28 to what was it, Todd? 28 to nothing winner over Live Oak. That's back to back shutouts for Guymastretta and Dutchtown Griffins and 4 wins in a row. So they're playing really well. And they'll play Santa Ma next week.
Is that back to back? Back-to-back, no scores for Live Oak, I believe, right? Did Denham Springs shut them out last?
Yes, 33-0.
33-0.
They had some trouble tonight with special teams.
Yeah. Dutchtown did, or
Live Oak had some special teams issues. They fumbled the ball on the one. Right, like Jimmy with 11:53 in the first quarter. They fumbled the ball and Dutchtown took over on the one. So things just, didn't really get rolling there. But, hey, don't take, credit Dutchtown as well. They're playing.
Yeah, they're playing well. Their defense is playing well. Yeah.
And so now the offense is getting a little rolling, getting some first downs.
We know the defense has been good. That offense is
and the biggest thing is they're getting a little confident.
Yes.
Let's take a time out. We get back more of the Week 7 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Your View.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shopper style.
Oh, yeah! I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana Products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time.
Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Week 7 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. We'll take a little bit more of a deeper dive into Acadiana when we get back from this full scoreboard, and we'll start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Calicut defeats Central 38-17. Dutchtown shuts out Live Oak 28-0. East Ascension 45, Walker 28. Denham Springs 27, Santa Maria 21. Zachary a 53-38 winner over Scotlandville. Madison Prep squeaks by U-High 40-37. St. James 55, Patterson 13, and Woodlawn 38, Liberty 7.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
John Curtis 35, Acadiana 14. Laurelville over Franklin 46-20. Grand Lake 41, Lake Arthur 36. St. Louis Catholic 23, Lake Charles College Prep 13, Iowa 27, Westlake 0, Southside over Sulphur 28-7, Basile 35, Oberlin 13, and Sam Houston 42, Lafayette 41.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
Edna Carr 33, Jesuit 17, St. Martinville over St. Charles 35-25. Brother Martin defeats Holy Cross 14-7. Central Catholic 35, Berwick 28. Rummel and St. Aug will play on Saturday. Destrehan 42, Terrebonne 6, Hanson 40, Centerville 8, and E. White 41, Donaldsonville 8.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
West Monroe blanks West Washita 43-0. C.E. Bird over Parkway 39-14. Manny 42, Winfield 14. Oak Grove 57, Faraday 22. Benton over Southwood 56-12. Washita 49, Alexandria 48. Haynesville 47, Arcadia 18. And St. Frederick 43, Lincoln Prep 26.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
St. Paul blanks North Shore 21-0. Salmon 28, Hannon 21. Kentwood 29, McDonough 35, 12. Pine 28, Amite 26. Franklinton 26, Pearl River 13. Bogalusa 40, Jewel Sumner 27. Hammond 34, Covington 18. And Lakeshore 35, LaRanger 13.
Thanks to Skip getting our scores throughout the night. Also posting them on Twitter at Louisiana Prep, at Louisiana Prep, at Louisiana Prep. If you want to find a full scoreboard for tonight's Week 7 matchups. And we've been highlighting a couple on the radio, but you can also find them on the ticker at the bottom of the screen on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, or if you're watching on your view. We go over to the Acadiana area, a couple of games to look at. I'll start first on the bottom half of the slide with Lake Charles College Prep falling this week to St. Louis.
That one kind of surprised me, but St. Louis has played well. I think they're 6-1 now, if I'm not mistaken. The big one that jumped out to me was John Curtis and Acadiana. Now, this is a game that we probably wouldn't have seen had they both known that they were going to be on this in the same division. That's the only negative that I see out of this doing the split thing after the season started. This is a game you probably wouldn't have seen, but this game was 14-7. Late in the third quarter, John Curtis pulls away 35-14. The thing with Curtis is they've really started peaking. They lost week 2 to Zachary, and Zachary completely dominated that game. But the big thing that Curtis is doing, they're playing Curtis football. Last week, you go back to the Rumble game where they won 36-0. Their first 2 drive was typical John Curtis football. They were a 14-play drive and a 13-play drive. Both of them ended up over 7 minutes. Their defense had 3 interceptions. They blocked a field goal. They go to a Acadiana team who had lost week 1 to Lafayette Christian. They had won 5 straight. They had outscored their opponents in those 5 games 261-42. They had scored 48 points in all 5 games. In 3 of those 5 games, they've scored over 50. And John Curtis turns around and holds them to 14 tonight. So John Curtis is playing really well.
The guy with – going back to what you're talking about with John Curtis football, and there are 2 opportunities for Acadiana, to tie the game. John Curtis went for it on 4th down, executed. They're 4th and 1, 4th and 2. Executed, continued to drive, scored. Same thing happened again in the second half, and that's what you're talking about. Just grind it out, fullback, tight running until you can't stop the fullback, can't stop the option.
No. At Southside, winner over Sulphur, not a surprise at all there, 28-7. But the thing is, Southside, they lose week 1 to Notre Dame, 21-13. They've won 6 straight now. That sets up a showdown with Acadiana next week. The big thing with Southside early in the year, they were fumbling the ball. Last year they went to the double slot option veer, kind of like Parkview used to run and made famous for it in the state of Louisiana, Scott Dietrich and those guys. But they kind of copied that type of offense. They had a bunch of fumbles, turnovers early in the year. They seem to have fixed that situation. Sam Houston with a 42-41 win over Lafayette. Lafayette was 4-2 coming into tonight. They fought a 4-3. Sam Houston goes 2-4-3, and they've won 4 out of 5. Chad Davis has those guys playing really well.
He said he never played the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah. Up north, Bird had lost 2 games straight, beat undefeated Parkway, and beat them convincingly 39-14. One thing about that, I think Lake Lambert, they lost him in the first series of the second half against Benton. They were 0-2 since then. He was 21-3 as a starter. I think he was supposed to be back tonight.
Yep.
And the big thing is, and they're another one who run that double slot veer and some split back veer. They do a little bit of both. But they had 8 or 10 turnovers in the last 2 weeks without him there. That mesh point is so important, and you get used to it going time and time again. Not with the quarterback and the running backs, that bond that they have is kind of hard to do when somebody else. But Bird's a big win over tonight, and then another
contrasting offensive styles here.
Oh yeah. Parkway likes to throw it all over the place, and Bird's going to throw it about 30 times a year, maybe. Alexandria and Ouachita at Ouachita. Ouachita comes away with a 49-48 win in a shootout. Both teams 3-3 going into that. Todd Garvin, guys up top, but you look at their losses. Both of these teams are 3-3, but I think they're a little better than that. Alexandria losses were to Karen Crow, St. Thomas More, Ruston. Ouachita had lost to Rummel, Conway, Arkansas, and Brother Martin. So 2 evenly matched teams, better than their 3-3 records, I think. But I'm sure Cardell Sermon's had another big night. Ruston,
you mentioned there, they were maybe 52-0 at half or something like that. They're rolling, playing really well.
162-0 final, I think.
62-0 final. I've had somebody comment, I guess West Ouachita was number 13 in the power rankings. They wondered, what were they going to do about West Monroe, because West Monroe was up 36-0 on the half against West Ouachita.
How bad have they been beat the last couple of weeks?
What was it? Show them what's the stat that you had with West Monroe and West Ouachita? They played for how long?
I think 6 years, and they've outscored them 205-0. Is it 5 years or 6 years? They've outscored them I think it was 205-0.
Because West Ouachita was in 4A for the longest, so I think.
Yeah.
A slow night for Benton. They only put up 56 tonight.
Hey, yeah, it was a slow night. They're gonna have a couple games here down the road. There's gonna be some shootouts. We look at 5A. We'll come back and recap some of these things.
North Desoto, a team up there, is also undefeated. They beat Evangel tonight.
Yeah, North Desoto, where are they at? Yeah, averaging 51.3. They've scored over 40 in every game. Dennis Dunn's the head coach, former Evangel coach up there, so they're putting up a lot of points. 4A has the most undefeated teams in it. De La Salle, I don't know who they play tonight, but that's 1, 2, 3. All 5 teams there's 5 teams left. There's only 2 left in 5A. That's East St. John and Destrehan, which will play in week 9. Destrehan give up 6 tonight, so that makes it 17 points they've given up in 7 games. But they haven't played anybody. Their schedule, for as good as Destrehan is and the job that Marcus Scott does, they just have not played a strong schedule this year. Now,
that's why you look at somebody like Carr. They've played somebody. You've seen some big numbers, and they've played some people.
They're blowing people out. They're doing exactly what they should do to opponents, but are they that much better than everybody? That question is going to get answered later down the road.
This is the Week 7 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. One more segment to go. We'll be right back. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and your view.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have
Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Week 7 edition of the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, as we roll into the last segment of tonight. After 7 weeks of high school football, Jimmy, who remains undefeated?
Yeah, started the weekend with 18 teams. There is 14 left. Bird beat Parkway, knocked them out. So in 5A, you have East St. John, Desterham. 4A, you have North DeSoto, Turlings, Plaquemine, West Feliciana, De La Salle. Plaquemine and West Feliciana are setting up a Week 10 showdown there. In 3A, you have Carroll, Church Point. You had Berwick going in tonight. Central Catholic beats them. Church Point, Coach Arsenault and those guys over there do a good job, Todd. They've been a wing T. They swapped. They're still running wing T, but they're doing it now 100% out of the gun. They're averaging 49.7 a game. Carroll has a tough finish to their season. They play Richwood in Week 9, which is 5-2, and upset, who was it, Wassman, really bad, and they play Union Week 10. So that's a tough stretch for them to finish at 10-0 or 9-0. Manny, I think they'll finish the season undefeated. Welsh has Notre Dame coming up in Week 10. That one will be a good one. I'll see if Welsh can finish it off. Episcopal in 2A was undefeated, lost to Dunham. In 1A, Glenbrook, we don't know a whole lot about them. They're averaging 47.7. It's their first year, I think, as a LHSAA being eligible for the playoffs. They beat Haynesville in Week 4. That's their big win of the year, but they play Homer in Week 9. That'll tell us a whole lot about Glenbrook. Hanson and Vermilion Catholic are the other two. Hanson still has to play Central Catholic in Week 8 and Vermilion Catholic in Week 10. Central Catholic, again, with a big win tonight over Berwick. Vermilion Catholic has to play Central Catholic and Hanson. and they've only allowed 30 points on the year. So Vermilion Catholic, I would say if I had to pick one of those, I would think Vermilion Catholic's a little bit better, but they're all three of those teams are going to play each other here in the last 3 weeks of the season.
Looking through some of the areas that we touched on but didn't really spend a whole lot of time on, real quick, I want to go to the North Shore. And we mentioned Slidell with the win on Thursday night. Covington falls to Hammond, so where the 6-5A play out, kind of a toss-up at this point. St. Paul's got a win over North Shore on that side, and Kentwood getting a win over McDonough 35.
Kentwood is the one that raises your eyebrow a little bit. They beat Walker a couple weeks ago, and they turned around and beat 5-1 McDonough 35. Who did they lose to? I'm trying to think right off the bat. They lost to was it?
You stumping me right now. I think it was
Was it A-Meat?
They have lost to.
They played A-Meat.
St. Paul's and Slidell. You talking about? Wait, who are you talking about? Him.
Kentwood.
Okay, hang on.
I think it was. It might have been A-Meat.
Sorry, I had to.
But when you look over there,
he's thinking about the Terriers.
They were young. They were young last year and had a kind of a down year for them. But yeah, they're back. Carr beats Jesuit tonight. No surprise, but I was surprised it was 33-17. E.D. White over Donaldsonville. E.D. White's playing really well. Only loss was to Woodlawn when they blew a fourth quarter lead. They win 41-8. And St. James, Levante Davis, they just keep rolling. They played Patterson. Patterson was putting up a whole lot of points, scored 30 or more in all of their games except for last week. They get beat last week 56-10 to E.D. White, and then St. James turns around, beats them 55-13. That's going to set up some really good games going forward. And again, we mentioned St. Martinville. That was a big win over St. Charles tonight.
What's ahead for Week 8 as we look forward to 5-5A?
Week 8, man, you got to be kidding me.
It is Week 8 already.
Denham Springs EA is going to
Denham Springs EA to me is the marquee local game. You got Dutchtown Santa Maria, that's a rivalry game, but Acadiana Southside in the Lafayette area, Rummel, Brother Martin, Benton, and Houghton should be just a shootout. Covington and Slidell lost some of their luster tonight with Covington losing to Hammond. St. Aug, John Curtis should be a good one. That's Saturday. Washita playing well. They play at West Monroe.
That ought to be good.
That should be a really good one. Staffs probably don't get along a whole lot over there.
That Federico kid looks real comfortable back there in some of the
They're getting better. They're getting better. But it's going to be interesting to see. They have a tough schedule still with Washita and Ruston coming.
Turling's STM.
Westgate plays at Lafayette Christian. Huntington and North Desoto. That should be another high-scoring game. Cecilia Opelousas. Two teams that are flying under the radar. Cecilia loses their quarterback early in the year to an ACL, but they still keep winning. STM at Turlings, Madison Prep, Warren Easton, E.D. White, Berwick. We lost some luster on that one when Berwick lost their undefeated season tonight. Lake Charles College Prep at Iowa is one to keep an eye on. Iowa only has one loss on the year, and Kaplan at St. Martinville is another one.
An interesting non-district game for Madison Prep.
Well, like he said he'll play anybody anywhere, and he's not backing down from what he says. They put us in the select side, put us in the non-select. You don't care, just let us play.
I think his coaching ability gets overlooked. I think people just feel that Madison Prep has these athletes and they can go out and beat people. But if that's what you think, you better open your eyes, because even those type of teams need good coaches. But when you coach kids up like he's doing, really is a sign of a really good coach.
I don't know how many people nowadays know about Harvey Adra. He's a legendary basketball coach at Glen Oaks who, heck, he was there when I was in high school, so he's been there a long time, and he's a phenomenal mentor.
Thanks so much to Union Parish's Joe Spadafora, Coach David Brewerton from Zachary, Coach Dwayne Jenkins from Lutcher, Landry Williams from Madison Prep, as well as Paul O'Neill on the video board, Casey Gaines producing audio, and Skip getting our scores tonight. And all of you tuning in, for Coach Todd Black, for Jimmy Roy, I'm Cade Wazin. We'll see you next Friday night on Louisiana Prep Scoreboard.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening. with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.